The recent flooding disaster in Thailand has been dubbed the worst in 50 years. The damage has been too great to estimate, and the death toll continues to rise. The after effects persist with each inundated area, once providing an important food and agricultural resource. Homes as well as crops have been devastated by the surging waters. But despite the tragedies, good has risen out of adversity with an enormous show of generosity made by fellow Thais. While the ongoing political conflict has divided the nation, perhaps the reconciliation process will be a helping hand through this crisis. But achieving unity will require the support of the government as well as the private sector and everyday Thais. The devastating floods ravaged more than 30 provinces around Thailand, but have brought about a tide of compassion. Government agencies, the private sector, the media, non-governmental organizations, and ordinary people have banded together to provide help in a time of disaster. Today, our program tells the story of one particular NGO that is supporting the flood victims. ArsaDusit comprises of a group of volunteers who want to rehabilitate the country and lift these victims out of the mire. The ArsaDusit group was established through social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter. The members of the group have one thing in common. They want to provide support and do something great for Thai society through various activities. The principles of this social group are to share and be generous with one another, a quality the group wants to preserve for future generations. They believe that as long as we uphold these principles, the kingdom can overcome any obstacles. The ArsaDusit group is one example of how social networking sites can help solve problems. This private organization was established when Thailand was facing one of its worst crises, the crackdown by security forces when 100,000 wretched protesters took to the streets in May this year. But when the political heat cooled down, a group of people got together on Facebook to encourage others to join the Big Cleaning Day, an attempt to make Bangkok a smiling city again. Now, as we face yet another national emergency, the same social network is spreading the word to get people to donate food and other necessities for the flood victims. This time around, the group is much bigger, so they renamed themselves ArsaDusit. It's now been about a month since the group started helping the people affected by the floods, which started in Korat and then spread to neighboring provinces.
จะเรียกข้าวฟังลอยเป็นนาทุ่งแต่น้ำขึ้นมันขึ้นเร็วมากครับพอมันขึ้นมาไม่เคยขึ้นนี่ขึ้นวันนึงเป็นเลยว่าหลายนิ้ว40 เซนน่ะขึ้นเยอะในคลองน่ะนี่ข้าวขึ้นไม่ทันครับธรรมดาเป็นข้าวฟังลอยธรรมดาข้าวนี่ขึ้นทนมากเลยครับน้ำตั้ง6-7 ศอกครับไม่ใช่น้ำนิดหน่อยนะนี่ตรงนี้ยังลึกกันตรงเนี้ยนี่เป็นหมื่นไร่นะเนี่ยทั่วหมดเลยนะเห็นเนี่ยตัวลูกตานั่นน่ะทิวนั่นทั้งหมดนู่นน่ะไปถึงนู่นน่ะไปถึงพระนอนเรียกพระนอนแม่ลาอะไรเนี่ยไปถึงยันท่าเรือเลยครับ
Although an independent group, ArsaDusit still needs to work with other organizations to effectively provide assistance. They cooperate with the government, the Royal Thai Army, as well as other aid groups to ensure the rescue and aid efforts run smoothly and are beneficial. They've also coordinated with other independent groups like Nok Air, Thai Flood, and Tan Pasakon Nati, among others, to provide things like survival kits for the victims.
มันหายใครจะช่วยเติมเพิ่มพลังใจให้ฉันได้เริ่มต่อสู้อีกครั้ง
ArsaDusit is also supported by the 5-star Dusit Thani Hotel in Bangkok, which is where the donation point is located. This tent right here belongs to the ArsaDusit group. Its members come to work here in rotating shifts. Each has his or her own responsibilities. Some members, like Pinoy, are sometimes questioned by their family and friends about what they're doing.
ดวงใจลุกโชนความหวังกำลังใจจากใครหนอขอเป็นทานให้ฉันได้ไหม
ArsaDusit distributes news and information about how to donate to the flood victims through various social networking channels. Then, the group gathers volunteers to deliver the donated items directly to the victims. Spearheading ArsaDusit, Kun Piyacheep Saw Watarobon or Pinui coordinates and selects the areas according to priority. The most affected areas will be helped first. Priority is also given to the elderly, the handicapped, and young children. Today, the ArsaDusit group is spending the entire day distributing survival kits to flood victims. In the morning, Kun Noi received a report that victims were living on the outskirts of town as well as other crisis areas. When visiting the crisis zones after the water level has receded, the group will check how the locals are coping in the aftermath of the flood. The area the group is visiting today is Maharat district in Ayutthaya province. After the ArsaDusit volunteers deliver the survival kits to the victims, they choose one of the locals in the area to lead them into the crisis area. That nominated person must be someone that everybody respects and trusts. The group makes a point of publicizing the generosity of Thai people and shows them that their support really does reach the victims.
เจอหลายคำถามเลยว่าเราแบบท่วมทุกปีทำไมแบบไม่ขึ้นไปสูงกว่านี้หรือว่าบ้านเราอยู่มาตั้งแต่เด็กแล้วอ๋ออยู่มาแต่เด็กแต่ป้าอยากขึ้นบ้านของโคกไปเป็น10 กว่าปีแล้วแต่ป้ายังไม่มีเงินค่าแรงมันสูงมากอ่ะค่าแรงปลูกอ่ะถ้าค่าไม้ไม่เท่าไหร่แต่ว่าซื้อไม้ไม่เท่าไหร่แต่ค่าแรงอ่ะบางคนวันละ500นะหัวหน้าช่างอ่ะแล้วไหนจะลูกน้องอีกอ่ะป้าอยากทำแต่ว่าเงินเราไม่ค่อยมีก็ลุงก็เสียแล้วเหลือลูกทำกินคนเดียวเลี้ยงแม่แล้วก็เลี้ยงลูกเขาแฟนก็หนีไปเลิกกันตอนนี้กลัวไปถึงคิดไปถึงปีหน้าอีกแล้วนะเนี่ยยังระแวงอยู่ยังนอนไม่หลับยังมาบ่ายเยอะน้ำแห้งก็ต้องระแวงอีกว่าบ้านมันจะโค่นไหมจะพังไหมดินมันอ่อนอะไรอย่างเงี้ยกลัวไปหมดแล้วบ้านมันเก่าอยู่
The survival kits are transferred into the boats here. As they set off for the victims' homes, you can see clearly where the water levels have reached. Even though it's much lower than before, the tide is still very strong. The volunteers have to be extremely careful on their journey. You can still see people young and old stranded in their homes. These locals may be accustomed to the annual floods, but their optimism that the water levels will soon drop is waning after more than a month of inundation. Despite this, their spirit and survival instincts remain strong. These kits may not be very expensive, but they have been a blessing for the flood-affected victims. Some even shed tears when they received it. This river has been the main transport route and a major source for this community. Now this very same river has destroyed homes and caused widespread damage. The power of the tide cannot be underestimated, and water levels could still rise. But luckily, help is on its way. One volunteer who has been delivering survival kits to the flood victims hasn't even tended to her own flood-damaged home yet. She says that her own suffering has not been as great as her neighbors and the elderly. Her house has flooded a few times before and is already in bad shape. But she does have one thing to hold on to, a picture of His Majesty the King.
ป้ารักมากเวลาท่านในหลวงท่านออกจากโรงพยาบาลนะป้าจะร้องไห้รักมากท่านที่ท่านแก่นะนี่ค่ะ
ก็คือต่อให้น้ำท่วมน้ำอะไรก็เราก็ต้องรักษา
ใช่ค่ะรักษาอยู่ทุกบ้านค่ะน้ำใจท่านนะขั้นแม้กระทั่งหลานชายเห็นในหลวงพระราชินีออกหลานยังกราบในโทรทัศน์นะคะ
เวลาเสร็จน้ำท่วมคือรู้ประจักษ์แล้วเราก็จะหัวแล้วเก็บ
เหมือนเดิมค่ะเหมือนเดิมค่ะจะไม่ให้ชำรุดเลยค่ะนี่เป็น10 ปีแล้วนะคะอยากบอกให้ท่านสุขภาพแข็งแรงและหายไวๆค่ะอยากให้อยู่กับประชาชนไปนานๆนะคะทั้งทุกพระองค์เลยค่ะยิ่งในหลวงยิ่งพระราชินียิ่งรักมากยิ่งในหลวงมากเลยอ่ะสงสารแล้วยิ่งท่านไม่มีเสียงเนี้ยเหมือนยังไงเราอึดอัดใจอ่ะอยากให้ท่านแบบปกติเหมือนเมื่อก่อนนะแต่ท่านทำงานหนักมามากค่ะมากแล้วเพื่อประชาชนทั้งนั้นเลย
Tears of joy are like a miracle in times like these. The tireless efforts of more than a month of providing assistance seem to disappear in a matter of seconds, giving the ArsaDusit group impetus to carry on with their great work. You've been inspired by today's story on ArsaDusit. The group is continuing to rehabilitate and collect information on what the flood victims might need in these times of crisis. Wintertime is now approaching, but these displaced people cannot return home. Next week, we find out how this independent group is helping to solve this problem. Don't miss more moving stories on our program Livin next week. But for now, goodbye.